We are live. Yo, what's up? What's going on, everyone? So, good morning. Happy Thursday.
Happy Thursday.
Yeah, welcome. Today's topic is going to be KDP Activity Book Research. Research that can be a lot of things, right? There's a lot you can do: interiors, keywords, niches, the whole covers. I don't know. There's a lot. There's a lot we can do. So if you guys are joining us, welcome. And first time here, welcome. Give a video a thumbs up, share it with somebody. If you guys are over on Facebook, go ahead and share it. Comment as well. Welcome.
Absolutely. Give a few people a minute to hop on or whatever.
Yeah, where can we see how many people are on? I can't see that on here.
Can't see it on the back end of the comments?
Oh, on the Facebook page, I can see it. And
how about on the StreamYard thing?
On the StreamYard, I can't see.
No, okay.
So I see it on the Facebook. I don't see. And this is on your YouTube.
Had to mute the Facebook, but I was talking.
And we're on your YouTube channel too, RJ?
Yeah. Yep.
How many people got over there yet? Anybody? Not yet.
I think there's people over there. There's a few people over here that comment on YouTube. Hey, Ashley Weatherly, what's going on? Let's go, RJ. Greetings from Denmark. What's going on? Festive countdowns. Hope you all, our families are safe. Thank you very much. I love this.
No, we're safe too.
We did notice you were here on time, Teresa, for sure.
Mm-hmm.
Teresa, good morning, everyone. What's up?
What's up, Ashley? Hey, Weatherly.
Ashley, hey, how's it going? Weatherly, she's over on YouTube. What's going on, Weatherly?
Weatherly, I like your glasses.
Nice.
Yeah. So, how do you find getting up this morning, RJ?
Good. I was good. I was laying there. I was like, oh, I went to bed early. I actually went to bed early, and I was like, cool. I woke up. I was like, messing with Jocelyn. She's like, just get up already. Go on your life. Get out of here. There's my grandpa. What's up, Pops? Love you.
Hey, Grant.
That's like Danny's awake, so he was texting me from the bathroom. Get out of bed. Come on.
Yeah.
Get out of bed. And I was like, okay, I'm getting out of bed. And I'm like, where are you? And he's like,
from the bathroom. Throw him right under the bus.
No, he's not feeling well this morning, so I guess he's been up for a while. And I'm like, oh, you poor thing. So I made him a tea to try and settle his stomach.
Yeah.
That sucks.
No.
Yeah, no, I went to bed at 11. So bright and early, 5:30 wake up. I'm good for about 6 hours of sleep, and that's pretty much it.
Yeah.
Oh, see, I wish I could sleep a solid, 8, 9, 12.
That's easy for sure. She's in bed for 11 or 12, sleeps probably 10 or 11 of it.
Yeah, I could totally. It's just, I don't know, it's just relaxing. Just nice to lay down in the bed.
So I gotta share this in the
Dom
Etsy group too.
Hey guys, good to see you. What's up, man? What's going on? And then we got Val. Good morning.
Good morning.
Teresa with their I went to bed at 5 a.m. Had to set 3 alarms. Crazy. I wouldn't be able to get up. I'm like, oh no, I'm done. Afternoon, Paul. What's up? What's going on? Good afternoon. Marco, greeting from Italy. What's going on? What's up, man? Hopefully everything's good. Thank you for dropping a comment. If you're safe out there. All right, guys. So today's topic, like I said, is going to be KDP research. Everyone that's on here, jumping on. If you guys are new to this, Jay and D and I, we do a private private, like, what would you call this, guys? So we do a ready aim scale. We have a lot of content jam packed in the back end. We create, as far as like KDP, like this month, for example, we've created a little mini challenge and for our special members back there, and we kind of went through everything. And we kind of wanted to start to do more public content, kind of in the back end story of this. Want to do more public content for you guys and show you guys what the hell we're about, show you guys the love and help people out during this crazy time right now. You know what I mean? So I think that there's a lot of opportunity right now, guys. So like when stuff goes wrong in the world, right? Opportunity opens up, and some people they either like get scared and panic and stuff like that, or there's some people that see the opportunity and take advantage of it. Okay, and this just being real. All right, no fluff or nothing like that. Like there's opportunity right now, and we want to do the best as possible to show you guys what you guys need to do during this time like this. And KDP is one of the biggest opportunities right now. And then also to add to that, I know that Jay's been having a lot of success. He's been posting about it in his and their Etsy group, J&D's Etsy group. They've been posting about it. There is, you want to kind of touch on a little bit, Jay? There's like during this time right now, you're doing some orders, and it's supposed to be like kind of slow, right? And you're still doing really well with Etsy.
Yeah. So I think in the beginning, everybody kind of was tightening up, on their wallets, sticking them in the closet, kind of wanting to not spend money, unsure of how this would play out. And I get that. My wife and I did the same thing. Like, I don't know, are sales going to dip? Are we not going to make any more money? But then, to Dee's point on a couple of weeks ago on one of the calls, she said that, the reality is that a lot of people are still gainfully employed just from home. Yes, there was a dip in sales, and things went down probably about 70% for about 8 to 9 days or so, not quite even 2 weeks. But once they're at home and everybody's bank accounts started growing again, it's like they realize that the world isn't ending. Everybody's shopping online now. I mean, you can buy something and have it shipped and in your on a Monday and have it shipped and delivered by the following Monday latest. So people are starting to open up their wallets, and what I'm seeing is like the lower ticket items, anything from like $30-$40 and under is working right now I do a lot of POD t-shirts and hoodies and that sort of thing. And I'm almost at what would be October, November of numbers in terms of ramping up for what, a solid Q4. So people are home, people are shopping. I know in Canada, for example, if you haven't made any sales in 14 days as a self-employed, you qualify for $2,000 a month from the government. So a lot of people are selling for 2 weeks in a 4-week span, right? So they're selling for 2 weeks, shutting off their shops, collecting a $2,000 check. And, that's kind of really helpful to a lot of people. And other people are using it to buy things they otherwise wouldn't be doing. Like right now, you have a captive audience, right? So everybody's at home, basically stuck. So it's prime time. Like this is not the time to turn on ads or anything like that when you're on an Etsy platform, especially with their new program where they're promoting the ads for you and they only ding you. You're not paying for any of the clicks. They're only dinging you if you actually sell via their offsite ads. So things are really picking up. The last 3 weeks have been kind of good, like kind of great. I think I'm at 60 orders the last 4 days now.
It's awesome, right?
Yeah. So I'm good with that. 70 orders, sorry. 18.
Dope, man. Good job. No, I just think this is important for you guys to understand. Is like as we push forward with making content and stuff like that, there's always opportunity there, right? And some people don't talk about it, and some people do talk about it. And as far as us, we're going to talk about it and show you guys like, okay, there's sales here, there's sales here. The first, yeah, go ahead, D. Go ahead.
I was just gonna say, yeah, like the whole kind of point of this one, this live today is kind of to show you guys what's selling now and have that conversation. So if you guys have found that your own shops have slowed down quite tremendously, and you're kind of scrambling for like, well, what am I gonna do to make that up, to make up that sales distance or whatever. We're going to be talking about, KDP Activity Books today, and because that's one of the big things that has been selling quite a bit. I'm new on KDP, so like I'm learning. I'm actually mostly learning from RJ, but like I've got the process kind of down, I think, already.
Yeah, you're
And
good.
I've got like already started pages of my book and everything to put up, my activity book that I'm planning. But it's just like the idea is to not panic, because ultimately, to RJ's point, there's always going to be something that you can sell during this time. There's always going to be some way that you can help somebody during this time. So whether that, like, even for me with like creating websites for people, like people are still coming to me and saying, oh, I need this website now more than ever if they were a bricks and mortar store, because obviously nobody can come by their store or see what they have or shop in the store. So now they need a website that's online that's going to show people what they have in the store, what they offer and whatever. And it's going to allow them to do things like curbside pickup or deliveries or shipping things, right? Like KDP, activity books, journals, log books, those kinds of things are selling really well right now, right? And why? It's because people are at home, right? So like they have more time. And I'm looking at it this way, like even people with kids, like I was thinking about this all wrong the other day. I was thinking, oh, these people with kids must be struggling because, you know, they're supposed to be like having the kids do their schoolwork. They're supposed to be working from home too. And like, if you have multiple kids, it could be crazy. You know what I mean? Like it can be pretty busy trying to just do those two things all throughout the day as well. But then I'm talking to one of my girlfriends the other day who has 3 kids and she's a single parent. And she said to me, honestly, she said, we're not even having a lot of schoolwork. Like we have a couple hours a day that the kids are supposed to be doing some stuff for school. And she's like, and then outside of that, she's like, I'm working, but she's like, I'm not working my full-time hours. I'm working like around 6 hours a day. So she's like, I have all this extra spare time to be doing all these other things. And she's like, and I'm just trying to figure out what it is that I should be doing. Like where do I want to be spending my time? So you're seeing a lot of people probably in that same scenario where they've thought about doing things. Maybe they've thought about having an online store, an Etsy shop or KDP or something in the past. And like, you know what I mean? They're sitting at home, or maybe if they haven't, they've thought about, you know, like buying some shirts or adding things to cart or like some project that they're going to work on or whatever. And now they're just kind of there spending that money because they still do have jobs. They're still employed. They're just working from home. Right. So
yeah, I mean, and even with like Easter Sunday traditionally, I'm gonna go flip it back to the Etsy thing. Like Easter Sunday and Easter Monday are usually pretty dead. Like that's a family time, you know, like nobody's shopping online, everybody's kind of together. But I had 44 orders between Easter Sunday and Easter Monday. Like, I mean, people are shopping that otherwise wouldn't be right now too, right? So if they're not, you know, trying to keep, if anything, they're going to buy activity books to keep the kids quiet while they can go have some me time and maybe spend some money on themselves, right?
No, that's it's pretty interesting that you say that, because it's you don't think there's no sales, right? It's supposed to be dead or something like that. It's
Normally,
no,
right?
yeah. Yeah, no. Here's Ashley right here. We're gonna get straight into the content right after this, guys. I ordered one of my coloring books on the 6th and it hasn't shipped yet. It says it won't arrive until the 10th of next month.
So you're a month delay. Wow.
Huh. Interesting, because it's on. I haven't experienced. I ordered a few books on like the 2nd or 3rd, and they got here pretty fast within 2 to 3 days. I haven't experienced that. Maybe I should order one. I have a few of them going live today, so I'll probably order one. But interesting. I've been having a lot of books that are going from. I published a few of them at 9 o'clock in the morning, 10 o'clock in the morning, around that time, and they're coming live probably 7 p.m. at night. So they're actually, with activity books, they're going pretty live pretty fast. So yeah, Teresa, she's over here. She's over here on YouTube. She went from Facebook to YouTube. So what's up, Teresa? What's going on? Kristen.
Got it right. Adult coloring books are doing well too. What's up, Kristen? Long time no chat. Ordered some.
What's up?
Some are just shipping, so at least you know you're only a week or 2 behind there. It looks like, but yeah, I mean, we've been. I know Stacy and her friends, like they've been great. The coloring books have been great for Christmas, stocking stuffers, all that stuff, right? They're just a fun, unique thing to add on for like that extra $5 or $10, right?
Yeah. And that's another thing too with the activity books right now, guys, with school being out like in California for like the rest of the year. There's people are like, they're not buying just 1 or 2 or 3 or 4 activity books. They're buying like 5 to 10, right? 6 to 10 activity books, it seems like. And that's something that parents are buying so they can keep the kids distracted, so they can go over there and spend their money on Etsy, on Jay's store. And
right? If people are buying and they're seeing delays in shipping and that sort of thing, they're more prone to order larger orders, knowing that, you know, if you order one at a time, you might be waiting X amount of days, right? So I'm seeing, honestly, even with Etsy, people are like, oh, well, what's the shipping times? I'm like, honestly, if you order on a Monday, you'll probably get it if you're anywhere stateside by next Monday latest. I'm like, oh, really? Okay. Well, I was going to order 3 or 4, but maybe I'll just do that anyway now. You know, like,
Yeah.
people are wanting to, you know, help the item purchases now.
all right, so we're going to do some research and we're going to share the screen. We're going to rip apart some activity books. Sorry if they're your activity books. You guys should be on my radar. If I share your activity books, good job, because you guys should be happy because that your book is selling really well. And we're going to find it. I'm proud of you. So I'm not trying to be mean or nothing like that, but hey, this is part of the game. And if you're complaining about something of me showing your book, I'm so sorry.
He's not. So you're gonna share your screen?
Yeah, I'll do it. Unless you want to share it, I got it. I got it.
Okay.
You go with that, D?
I can share, and then because we're gonna do this together, right? So
Okay. Yeah. What do you want to do? It's up to you. Rock, paper, scissors.
Okay, rock, paper, scissors. Ready?
I'll do it. I don't care.
Rock, paper, scissors. Oh.
No, I'll do it. I don't mind.
Okay, you do it.
Okay, cool.
Need some books about doomsday.
All right. Let me see. All right, I'm gonna actually so you see us right here on the screen. We're gonna disappear real fast because I'm gonna put it full screen. All right. Okay. So you guys see right here. This is the back end of Amazon. First things first, we're gonna come over here and let me adjust myself real fast. We're gonna type activity books, right? As you see, we're typing in one. We got how many letters? We got 6 letters up there, right? As you can see. Yep. And you can see that there's already stuff that's popping up, okay? And on the search bar, activity books for kids ages 4 to 8, activity books for kids ages 3 to 5 and 7 to 9, activity books for adults, right? Activities for kids, activities for 3-year-olds, activity books for kids ages 2 to 4. All right, so you can see right here. So by doing this right here, by doing this type of research, you can see right off the back, Amazon trying to tell you, okay, maybe you'll like this, or maybe you like this, or maybe you like this. Maybe you'll buy this. So it's giving you a list of keywords, right? Trying to show you, trying to direct you to go to this specific category, right? So the goal is for Amazon is for you to click on a certain topic or niche or whatever, and for you to click on the listing and buy as fast as possible, right? And if the customer has a good buying experience, Amazon's going to reward you, right? So Amazon's going to reward your listing and rank it higher in the algorithm. So let me repeat that one more time. If the customer searches activity books for kids ages 4 to 8, you click right here. The customer clicks right here, and your book pops up right here, right? You can see number 1. They click this. Let me open this. Sorry, that's a sponsored ad. They click that, okay? And then they come over here and they go to add to cart and they purchase. Amazon is going to be like, okay, this customer likes this book. This must be a good book. I'm going to rank it higher in the algorithm, okay? Now, if it does that over and over and over and over, you have the opportunity to get a number 1 book. Number 1, the bestseller, your BSR, you get a chance to have it increase and you start ranking organically for other long tail keywords, and then you start crushing it. So it's literally that simple, but you just got to figure that part out. So,
yeah.
So as we type that in, right, you can see that we're having learning books, right? Learning activity books, exploring nature activity book. And this right here is going to be the BSR, guys. So the BSR. So this is number 1 in books. Wow. That's pretty awesome, right? It's crushing it. It's doing really, really well. 279 in books. Okay.
And then
And
those, like the how it's showing you in books and then in the different categories, like the more specific categories, all of those are they're giving you the niches right there that you can leverage, right? It's telling you where your book is ranking, whether or not you've purposely put it in those categories as well.
Yeah. So like you can see right here. So
Science experiment books, like
yeah. Yep. No, for sure. And that's something to pay attention to. This is a niche. Like another thing, guys, when you do this search term, it's telling you a story, right? So there's so many niches that are going to be presented to you. Okay. And it's in a way, this is what you're supposed to do, right? So you're supposed to dig in here and see where's like how much competition's in there, and is there an opportunity for you to rank in there? Okay. There is, I think this works pretty much for everything. So like even with merch by Amazon, or even if you're selling just products on Amazon, this is a private label product, right? Because you're creating it yourself and then you're listing it on Amazon, and yeah, you're creating it from scratch. So, and you can see, look at jumbo activity books for kids. So there is Exploring Nature so far, there's Learning Right book, and then there's jumbo activities, right? So there's 3 niches right there. Now we're on 4. There's Unicorn, right? And you can see all these BSRs like, wow. Okay, wow. I think exploring nature seems to be pretty cool. I don't know. We're going to search that right now in a bit. Space. Okay. Totally awesome. Mazes and puzzles. Human body.
Yeah, and one thing to point out here is you're noticing too is that all of these covers are eye-catching, right? And you can tell immediately looking at them what they're about. That's something I think people underrate, right? Is how valuable that front cover real estate is, because that's the first thing. That's the thing you have to capture 6-7 seconds to get that click, right?
Yeah, no, I think that's the clickbait, right? I think that so the listing. The title and the subtitle is going to be what's going to drive the traffic to your listing. Yep. And then the cover is going to be the clickbait, truth or dare.
For sure. If it's boring, you're going to scroll right past it, even if they show up.
These kids at 4 to 8 years old be playing truth or dare.
Oh, yeah. Wow. And they do like challenges and greedy stuff, man.
Logic puzzles. Silly jokes for kids. Scissor skills. Zoos. Animals.
Like what you're seeing when you were going through this page is all of the different kinds of books that you could be making that are considered activity books. So like if you're not into like the puzzle books, you could be making, like a go out in nature, find these things, like write it down in the book. What's it called? What color is it? That sort of thing. There's scissor skills. So like you're supposed to cut the pages of the book out, right? And I'm sure like maybe they're supposed to glue some of those things together as a part of the activity, right? So like there's a variety of different things that kind of fall under the activity book category. Like a lot of people I think just mistakenly think, oh, it's only puzzle books or it's only, educational books or like whatever else. But there's a variety of different things that you can do here to kind of put your own spin on this niche.
Yeah, no, for sure. There's so much. We already found we really scrolled halfway through the page, and we already have like 8 to 10 different niches, right? From zoo animals. Look at this. I want you guys to pay attention to this.
For Tiger King.
Yeah. So May 12th, right? So what up? May 12th, 2020.
What
the heck?
It's posted in the future.
Yeah, it's posted in the future. So, but I'm pretty sure
it will be released. So these are pre-orders. Wow.
Interesting. So you can do that on the back end of the KDP, but I find this is very, very interesting. I've never seen this before.
Pre-order.
Well, I think this is the strategy for if you have already got some best-selling books in this category. I think this is the strategy for that. So like if you've actually done this right. So like when I first started, like when I first figured out actually that KDP had approved my account, because they never sent me an email saying like you're live on KDP. I just was like, oh, this is awesome. So like I started thinking, well, how am I going to sell these books? Like I know organically I can rank them inside of like the KDP thing if I do the good keywords and a good cover and a good description and all that stuff. But I was like, but what about after that? Like I don't, because like I like to create things that I then can kind of start to build a little community around, whether it's like a Facebook group or whether it's a newsletter or something, so that I'm in control of how well I can sell those things later. So this would be a great strategy for if you've actually successfully done that. So like say you said at the back of your book, check out this website for free coloring pages, blah, 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 like as a thank you for reading this book. Right. And so when they hit that website or landing page, they have to enter in their email and then they get a bunch of free coloring pages, like maybe 5 free coloring pages or whatever, or free activity book pages similar to the book that you got already up on KDP. Now you've got their email address. So then when you are going to release new books, you can just email them and say, hey, we have these 5 new books in plan. They're releasing on this day. I've set them up for pre-order now. Be the first to get the new book. Right. And in a sense, you start to be able to control your own sales in addition to what you would get just organically. And what's really great about that strategy is if you do have that community already set up, your BSR ranking goes up way faster, right? Because you're telling people, hey, I have all these different books that are coming out that are similar to the book that you already bought, right? And maybe even like, I don't know if you can run discount codes or whatever, but like if you can, like maybe even give them a little something extra, like for ordering the pre-order or whatever, like maybe they can get a bundle or something interesting, right? And then all of a sudden, like you've got some proof, you've got some sales happening pretty much instantly as soon as those books are up and live on KDP, right? So these are like the bigger picture strategies that you guys have to be thinking about when you're thinking about like, well, how do I be successful? How do I stand out? If you look to try and see how many of these like little, like I guess companies that are in like sometimes even in the top 100 have separate websites where they like actually engage with people about the books, there aren't really a lot of people doing that. And for what it actually takes, like you don't even have to have a full website. You can just have a landing page. Like if you're paying for the paid version of MailChimp, you can make your landing page inside of MailChimp. You know what I mean? Just to kind of drive that like email sign up so that you can then start to have those conversations with people about what would they like to see. Maybe they can vote on the next series of books that you're doing, like all of that kind of stuff. So it's just something to keep in mind.
And then another side bonus to having something on a pre-order or like having a set release date is also kind of scheduling your income streams too, right? So it's like a way of having, guaranteed income coming in a month from now when those orders come in, as opposed to potentially having orders trickle in and then maybe not seeing that lump sum or having to die off, right? Look at that, and then you're guaranteed to get paid now in June already.
Well, and the thing is, if you set up this kind of strategy now, the truth behind it is like come Q4, if you got this thing like cranked and rolling, right? Like you can sort of schedule out some of your releases. So if you have like a workflow where you're putting out maybe like 6 books a month, right? And so for Christmas, you're going to, put out your 6 books for Christmas come like end of October, like right after Halloween, like November 1st, right? Then you can just be sending it that email. It's already scheduled. Like you've done that scheduling for that email, maybe in like, I don't know, August, September. And like during the busiest season of the year, you're just cranking out sales without having to do all of this grunt work of the setup of like these emails and trying to talk to people and kind of freeing yourself up for like any kind of customer service. Because if you're running KDP, you're running merch, and you're running something on Etsy or Shopify or something else, you do get kind of bogged down a little bit with the customer service end of things as we get into the tail end of the year. But like all of these things, if you set them up now, it's easy for you to set them up, learn them, and then start to schedule things out in terms of like automation, so that come Q4, you're just like watching the sales roll in and having to answer a few questions here and there.
Yeah, I mean, and that's another bonus of kind of being, having to self-isolate right now, is that a lot of us have the time now to learn 1 or 2 new things, if that, be it building your, the email list, or, learning how to schedule things out and plan your process a little better, right?
Exactly.
No, I think also too, just going back to this right here, just there's so much you can do, right? And it's pretty amazing that once you dial into it and understand what you need to do to get a book selling and create an audience and create your own opportunity for yourself, right? It's once you understand that you can create the opportunity for yourself, like there's no stopping you, right? You just keep going and going and going and going, and it keeps growing and growing and growing and growing. So, and
Yeah.
I think, go ahead.
Teresa says it looks like you got to bring your A game for covers in this niche. I would argue that you got to bring your A game for covers in every niche. Because a book about nothing and absolute garbage inside, but people will still buy it based on the cover.
Yeah, I think also to Teresa, I wanted to point something out right here. I was waiting for it. This right here, that you can see the cover.
Yeah,
they're pretty much the same.
Yeah, that's and you know now that if you're going to find another one, hey, that's probably from the same people, even if you're not reading the pen name or whatever. Right?
Exactly.
Yeah, and you can just tell, and like the tiger's swimming, but he's supposed to be in the jungle, right? So you can see.
There's room for improvement.
Yeah, but you can see like it's nothing different, and it's very simple. Like seems like basically what they did was get a template down for their cover and ran with it, and that's the most important thing. Even though that's the most important thing, because once you start going, then you can start improving it later on. But the most important part is they started right and they started doing it. It might not have been right the first time.
I think it's smart when it comes to the covers, because you can save yourself so much time just investing some time up front to create an awesome template for that niche. It's a niche specific, right? So now you know I just got to put a different featured animal, change a couple words, and then the background will be more suited to wherever that animal lives, right? Or where that from. And then after that, the next covers aren't going to be nearly as tedious as if you've already got it set up and ready to rock.
The hell is that? Oh, that's pretty interesting. Look at this
little video.
That's cool. I've never even seen that.
Yeah, I wonder how you do that, because I didn't even see that on the back end for like.
This is pretty cool. Dope. I guess we're learning something new all together right now.
Yeah.
Yeah. So we'll get to the second page. You guys see, let's kind of like go backwards a little bit. The search bar is going to be your friend. So when you're going into a new niche, say for activity books, for example, that's going to tell you a story. If you're trying to find a new niche to dive into, go very general, then you're going to go down the rabbit hole, right? Because, for example, we typed in something very broad right here in the search bar, and then we're just going down. There's learning activity books. Now there's exploring nature, that activity book, that niche, jumbo activity, right? So there's an actual jumbo activity book. There's unicorn, paint by sticker. There's space. There's mazes and puzzles, right? Human body, truth or dare, dinosaurs, and so on. So I guess we're going down. You can see all the different niches. So this is something, it's very easy, guys, when it comes to research, but you want to make sure there's a demand. You don't want to go right here on the front page. Oh yeah, I'm going to do that. No, you want to go dive in a little bit deeper into the niche, right? So let's go to page 2. Let's see. The same thing. It's like the only thing we're doing is finding niches, and then like, okay, mazes for kids. Is this only mazes for kids? Kids are in problem solving, it seems like. Okay.
Ranked 894, right?
Crushing it.
Yeah. And I mean, that's it, right? Like, look how you know exactly what that book is about as soon as you read it. Even if you don't read it, you see the maze in the middle, and then mazes for kids, right?
And this is published on the 8th, right, of December last year. It's crushing it now.
Yeah.
Science experiments.
So this is another thing to be like cognizant of when you're going through and you're doing this kind of research. You want to be thinking, like, you want to be seeing what you're seeing, but you also want to be asking yourself, what's missing? What am I not seeing on these pages? And you want to keep kind of diving down into the pages to see if it's actually missing as a category in and of itself from this area, or if it's that somebody's been making them and they're just not selling very well, right? They're like on page 30 or something. So that's something to keep in mind, because if you can find something that's missing, like a little gap, a lot of the times you can exploit that gap to really rank up on any algorithm pretty quickly, right? Like if you know that there's some search volume around it, just from doing other kinds of keyword research, you can literally build something for that little gap. And then all of a sudden, because there's not really much competition, if your thing looks good, it's ranking really quick.
Mm-hmm.
No, I think that's actually an awesome point right there, because that's like the opportunity, right? And that's going to help you get that number one selling book or whatever it is, like whatever your goal is, and that's going to help you generate an income, get sales, get your first sales in. Because like if you go into a activity book, like what do your goal is to make it fun for the kid, right? So the age group that you're targeting, what do they like? Like, you know what I mean? At that age, like, do they like airplanes? Do they like trains? Do they like garbage trucks? Do they like unicorns? Like, do they like princesses? Like, I don't know. Like, you got to figure that stuff out, and you ask yourself those questions. Like, okay, what can I do? Like, for example, like, look at this cover.
Yeah,
it's a draft, right? Cute draft.
Yeah, that to me is that's definitely going to hit the kid, and the idea is it's going to hit the mother of the kid who's buying for that kid. And the only thing I would change there is maybe make the contrast a little better from the background to the wording, because you kind of lose a little bit of the words in there. But other than that, I mean, the kid's going to know that's the giraffe book, right? No matter what.
I think there's some opportunity where, like, okay, so if you're thinking about this the way that I think about this, okay, so I think, oh, I'm going to make a book. Of course, it's not the kid who's got the credit card who's going to be ordering this book, right? It's going to be the parent. So what are the things that the parents are into that I'm not really seeing be like itemized on these lists? You know what I mean? Like in at least maybe the top 5 pages. So like, for instance, some parents are really into like whole foods eating, right? So like maybe what my coloring book is it's like healthy meals, right? So like this has salad, this is fruit, this is peanuts, this is whatever, you know what I mean? Or, you know what I mean? Like there's not a lot of food related books in this category at all, right? And
actually with the trend and everybody eating like whole and healthy, right?
Well, and that's the thing. And like you got all these foodie parents out there that are trying to like constantly get their kids to try new things. You know what I mean? So like that's
you make
bridge the gap. They're maybe coloring pizza pages, and the pizzas have funny faces or whatever. You know what I mean? Like this is what I mean when I say exploit the gap. Like look at what's not in these categories, because to be honest, if you come into a niche and there's like a whole abundance of, let's say, animal coloring books, okay, or science-based coloring books, or like astronaut spacey coloring books, you're definitely obviously going to go, okay, so like I want to make my animal coloring book, but you have to compete against all of those people who are already a little bit ahead of you in that their book was there first, it's already got a BSR on it, and whatever else. But if you come into that same like category, so like activity books for kids or coloring books for kids, and you see, okay, so what's missing? There's no books about like active lifestyles, like things to do that are fun outside, like different kinds of sports you can play, games like cornhole, going rollerblading, visiting whatever, you know what I mean? Like taking a bike ride. There's no books like that so far that we've seen in the first 2 pages. That's a huge gap, because there's so many people that are into these active lifestyles that like work out every single day, take their kids out when they get home from work or whatever to like go do things like play catch in the park or whatever. And there's nothing here that kind of is around those activities. What are other things that are people into right now? You know what I mean? Like you just got to start finding those little gaps and making the books to fill those gaps. And you'll find that they'll sell really easily as long as there's an active niche around that subject area.
Mm-hmm. No, crushed it.
Good job. Think that broccoli and Brussels sprouts are cool, right?
Yeah, like, and that's if there was a book that was like Brussels sprouts were cool, and like you had jokes in that book, and the Brussels sprouts were telling the jokes. You know what I mean? Like,
there you go. That's a perfect example. But hey, there's some people that think Brussels sprouts are nasty, right?
Yeah.
That's something right there, right? Do you like Brussels sprouts? Yes or no? And you know what I mean? You can put like a nasty, like sign and then circle the Brussels sprout that you or whatever, something like that. You guys get the point.
About being left out because it was,
Yeah.
it was grosser compared to the rest, and then at the end they're all friends, right? Like there's ideas are everywhere.
Oh, here's so dinosaur activity books for kids, right? It's a nice cover.
Mm-hmm.
And that's one thing we were kind of touching on yesterday too, is you've got a little bit of a preview now of your interior pages, right? Which if you weren't sold by the cover, now you've got actual clickbait right on the cover. You want to zoom in on that and check what the interior might look like. And that's, your second click to seal that fate.
Yeah, I think that also too with that you got on the mobile there's like no look inside feature, and we'll kind of get into that right now in a bit after we scroll all the way down. Like for example, like there's so much activity. I mean, so much activity, so much opportunity out there, and you can see like this is a new book. This is listed yesterday, but like the cover, it's
It's okay. It doesn't pop as much as some of the rest. There's not
like compared to that one.
Yeah, for sure. You know exactly the dinosaur. That one, there's not enough contrast in my opinion. But
yeah, that's what I was going to say too.
Yeah.
Not enough contrast. The colors all blend together a little bit.
Yeah.
But small like that, and you could have a really, something that jumps off the page right now, right?
Yeah.
So we'll see what happens there with that one. So 100 plus what? Fun activities for clever kids. Perfect. You got a little piratey kid there. Like those are catching, right? You know exactly what that's about.
And this is honestly too, that's something that's really easy too. Like I know I see a lot of people overthinking this, and this was published at the end of February, right? But like the background's all black, right? They got a red square, and they have some letters in there, and then they put like some
characters
in there, and that's it.
All those elements on the cover, no doubt, are from the interior. So it's not like you necessarily have to recreate stuff. You can just copy and paste stuff that you have created, right? The illustrations are that would be, that'd take about 10 minutes to throw together tops. Yep. I'm gonna get going on this.
Mermaids. Okay. All right. So we're down to page 2. We've seen right now. I think there's a lot of what I'm seeing is a lot of dinosaur books, right? So let's dive into this niche a little bit deeper, right? So what we're gonna do is gonna come over here. We're gonna just basically take this, copy, paste.
Just to see what kinds of books are in this category, right?
Yeah, so because you're more broad too still as well. You're still very general, so you're saying dinosaurs, right? But now there's different types of dinosaurs. Now what is in this dinosaur niche, right? You want to dive into more detail, like maybe there's activities, there's mazes, there's stuff out there that hasn't been created yet, and there's an opportunity for us to go in there and dominate and be the best in that niche. All right, so you guys got to keep in mind too, when you guys are making stuff for niches, the goal is not to I'm going to make a book and hopefully it sells. Because if you go in there with that damn type of attitude, you're going to make one sale a month. You're going to go in. You want to go into the niche and be like, I'm going to dominate this niche and be the best in this niche. And I'm going to create some really badass designs and put it together in a book and make it sell. Okay. Even whatever your goal is, but you just want to make sure you're the best. Okay. It's important that you guys understand that, because if you put a shitty book together, it's not going to sell. And then you're going to end up crying and say, oh, I don't know why this book didn't sell. It's like, because I'm telling you guys got to think, you got to understand this. Like, if you want to dominate the niche, you have to have the best book. And you don't have, let's say you don't have the resources for that, but you need to figure it out.
Yeah.
There's no easy way right here. Okay. I want you guys to understand that you got to create it and be the best in that niche. And I'm not being mean. I'm just telling you the truth. I just want you guys, because if you do that, you're going to make sales. Guarantee it. So let's kind of give like the listing, the description and stuff. So this right here, guys, you can see right here where the 2 dots right here, this is the title. Okay. This is going to be the title of the book. Okay. And then everything behind this is the subtitle. Okay. As you can see, this is the description right here. Right. You can see in stock, deliver by April 23rd. This right here is with Helium 10 is showing me like a BSR. As you can see, a lot of the books from like the middle of March, the 14th area right here, they drop down like crazy. And I'm seeing this in a lot of the books is because that's when everyone started, the schools that stopped and everything like that. Literally like a month ago, the school stopped, everyone stopped going to school, the kids stopped going to school, and they went straight to Amazon, buy activity books for kids, right? And that's why it was so, there's a demand for it, right? And a lot of people are buying activity books. And you can see with this chart right here, this is telling you a story. As you can see in December, it goes crazy, okay? Just with this book alone. But there's a lot of other books out there that are doing the same exact thing. And you can see after Christmas, it goes up. But then, like, you can see it just drops down right here, okay? So that's when school stopped around the, you can see it right down below. It says 315, 314. It drops completely right here and it stays like that. Now it seems like it's going back up.
Yeah.
So this is what this little chart is. The ranking, the BSR ranking right here. So this shows you the history. So this is actually really cool because you can see, is there a demand in this niche? Is this consistently selling? What's going on? What can I do here? Okay. That's something cool to look at. When you click on this too as well, so there's a look inside feature too as well, guys. So when you click on the look inside feature, there's a little over here on the, if you click surprise me, sometimes it'll show like a certain page on the inside of the book, right? And it's what usually wouldn't show it right here, okay? Because sometimes it's a little hidden. As you can see, there's 30 activity pages for this book right here, and you can see, adding to what Jay said, is like showing you the preview of the interior on the back. There's 1, 2, 3, 4, and then on the front there's 1, 2.
Mm-hmm. Are they the same two that are shown on the back?
No.
No. Okay.
And you can see the illustration too. It's a really, you see that front illustration? That's a good one.
Yeah.
For sure.
Okay, and then like the word search and stuff like that, you can see that the theme of the word search is dinosaur related, right?
Yeah. What is that? Okay, that just looks out of place to me. Bad font, I think, but
yeah. The copyright I would have put right in the back, but it could be in the back. It's just not. It's basically when you click the look inside, it's pages that, you know what I mean? Like it could be in the very back of the page. It could be the second page in the book. You don't really know.
Yeah. Yeah, because those two, that one and then the next one. I mean, so that one should be next or anything. But you don't want your copyright page or whatever disclaimer to be your first featured page, right? It's just supposed to be.
I don't know, because like it's funny because if you look at like big book publishers, right, like on those hardback books, or what are they called, hardcover books, basically you'll see that there's like they have that copyright page in the front. So like maybe this person who created this book actually creates other books in different niches, but like so just kind of used to putting that page at the front, but it should be at the back for kids, because like ain't no kid gonna be reading your copyright page. You
Nah, you gotta let that kid know what's up. You hear me? Yeah. So you basically gotta let that kid know what's up, because you can't be having that kid stealing your artwork or whatever, anything starting at 5 years old.
So what's the next page after that?
So it's belongs to.
It's so boring. The next one. Yeah, so I would get right into some dirty illustrations or something, right? You know, at least for the first page.
Surprise me. See what comes up. Nothing.
Oh, there it goes.
See?
It's legit. That's pretty cool. Like it's like cute little. You can see that they have the illustration sideways though too, right?
Mm-hmm.
Yeah.
Oh, I see. Like compared to this one, they flipped it, right?
Yeah, and that's a great way to get more real estate, like when you're trying to, you know what I mean, keep the book interesting.
And also, too, you guys got to keep in mind who you're designing for. Like, you don't want this adult illustration for some kid. They'll spend like the whole 2 weeks trying to color it. You know what I mean? So you guys got to understand like who you're targeting, guys. Like, do not.
Yeah, even on that landscape page where they had the how the artwork was horizontal, you want to make sure too when the book's open that that's on the bottom and not the top, because if you ever tried to color in a book, I know I have, you don't want to be running into the spine and when you can just flatten it or put something on top part.
Yeah.
Some things to consider, right?
I also too from my understanding, when I see people, like I know some talented artists and they draw, and I'm pretty sure you guys know too, but like this right here, this probably takes someone like 10 minutes to draw because this is like the simple shapes, right? And they knock that out like they're eating breakfast. So I'm just like, dude, how do you do that so fast? I get confused. I'm just like, that would take me like 2 weeks to do. And you do it like in 10 minutes. That doesn't make no sense. Yeah. So if you know talented artists out there, like they can do this really fast, guys, believe it or not. And you'll be mind blown. You're like, there's no way in hell that you can do that fast. But it's amazing because you get like, wow, okay, now this is pretty interesting. Now activity books are nothing, and you get to watch people create them. And like if you outsource like I do, it just people watching people create stuff. It's like, wow, this is fun. This is cool, you know? Yeah, no, so that's right there. You guys see that, how I clicked on it, popped up 2 new pages. Oh,
New pages. 4 new pages.
There we go. So that right there, that's something cool right there that you can do a little trick, a little hack. So yeah, so that's it right there for that. You can, like I said, a look inside feature. You could surprise me and you can see what's going on in this book, get some inspiration and see what you can do.
Yeah, it's a great way to understand too what's selling in that specific category of things, right? So like if you've done the whole deep dive on like dinosaurs, you're going in and you're looking like those dinosaur activity books for ages 4 to 8. You're looking to see like what do a lot of the pages have in common. And it's like, even in this one, like I find, so for this book, I know this book is probably selling really well. I find it's weird to have some illustrations that look, I don't know, a fair more simple versus like this kind of an illustration, which is almost like a different drawing style entirely. Like I thinks that you should have the same kind of consistency, the consistent style throughout the book. But this could be, you know, somebody using multiple different illustrators, or it could be like somebody buying some images that are stock that are good for like commercial, and then, you know, adding in some of their own that are maybe the more simple ones, right?
Sure. I mean, these would be geared to somebody more capable than a 4-year-old to color these particular 2, and it definitely looks like they just, you know, potentially outsourced or you know, clip art bot sort of thing, but it's not cohesive at all. It doesn't look like, it's definitely not from the same artist anyway.
Yeah. Okay. So yeah, guys, if you guys have any questions too, feel free to ask. We'll get to them at the very end, but we just want to knock out this research and trying to show you guys, dive in deep and give you guys a better understanding, and hopefully makes it easier for you guys to understand how to create a coloring book, activity book.
Yeah, but we've just identified so much more room for improvement. You know?
Yep. Okay. So yeah, so that's the look inside feature, guys. So like I said, you come over here, click on the left-hand side, it kind of, you break it down and gives you the look inside feature. This is the BSR, and here's the ASIN number right here. Go down, digital books you may like. It's recommending me stuff that I may like right here, right? So that's pretty cool. There's more. The very hungry cow. So sponsored products related to this item. Okay. As you can see. And this is the product details right here. Okay. This is where you get, so people are like, what size coloring book should I create? Right. The product dimension size. So this is 8.5 by 11 inches, right? This right here, the 8.5 by 11 inches is basically,
it's a letter size sheet.
That's the standard letter. Yeah.
That's the standard for a coloring book from my understanding of doing research and all that stuff. Okay. I don't see anybody coloring a 6x9 book. Mostly it's like the bigger size books. So something to keep in mind. Then this tells you, and a lot of people get asked this question all the time: how many pages do you put in your coloring book or in your book or activity book or whatever it is? This right here, down right here, I want you guys to research your niche. If you're researching your niche, right, I wouldn't get asked that question, but I understand though, and it's okay. I understand. If you research your niche, it's going to tell you right here in the paperback, 79 pages, right? Okay. So in the book world, front and back of a page is 2 pages, right? If that makes sense. So If I do 20 illustrations, I'm going to have no less than 40 pages, right? So if this person, this person may have, I think it says 30, but they probably have some copyright information in there and all that stuff. So
probably got 20 pages of copyright information.
Yeah. Yeah. And then also too, guys, this is very important. When you go into the reviews, it's going to show you more information. Okay. You can come in here and read some of the reviews, get some ideas and see what pictures they have.
Another opportunity here would be looking, so you don't judge this book based on the cover. So, there's critiques there, and those are super massive opportunities and holes that you can build and improve on for a book to compete with.
Yeah. No, and that's another thing that's very important, because a lot of people don't like to look at the reviews, and the reviews tell you a story.
Did you read that? It looks exactly what we just said. I'm pretty sure whoever designed it found pictures of random dinosaur pictures and added them.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, there's opportunity right there for sure.
Yeah. That's just a testament to keeping everything cohesive, right?
Yeah. No, and like I said, you come down here in the reviews, read the negative reviews. There's some of the reviews are positive reviews and they're being nice, but they're critiquing the book, and you get just like, okay, this is what they want. You see, this is a top seller. It's been up there longer. It's been making more sales than you. What can you learn from the reviews to help you relate to your audience more, right? And that's a big thing right there, because that right there, if you understand your audience and who is buying your book, it's pretty much it, right? And I think you understand that, and then you're okay, cool. Like, this is who's buying it. I can kind of go spy on that audience, the parents, right? And kind of get the drawings and all that stuff down and get the layout all down and make the person that's coloring this book feel like it's for them, right? Or the parent that's buying the book, make it feel like it's for their kid.
Well, and on top of that, like the reviews, the bad reviews that you can tell you something, right? So like where people are saying, like I've seen this a lot on coloring books, pages are one-sided, overpriced, blah, blah, blah. Even those bad reviews, like it will tell you if you're intending on doing that same thing, just making the pages one-sided, because like some kids, they're going to use markers and they're going to leave the marker and it's going to bleed through the page and ruin the next image kind of thing, right? So you want to talk to that in your product description. Like, we know a lot of people don't read the product descriptions as well as they should, but like, at least if it's there, most times when people go to complain, they see if it's their mistake first. You know what I mean? Like, you'll get those odd people that kind of don't, but like, they'll look and say, oh, it was right there in the description or whatever, right? Like, and that's a good way to mitigate that. Like, have it be as clear as possible that these are like one-sided pages and the whole book is maybe 100 pages, even though it's only 50 activity pages. Do you know what I mean?
Yeah. No, that's exactly right. Like a lot of customers just won't read any of the fine print, but at the same time, if you can just say like one-sided, so nothing bleeds through, there's always ways you can speak to it, right?
I'm one of those customers. Give me a video.
Like if you've ever bought a book for your kid and who's got markers, you would know why it's one-sided, right? So it could be somebody buying it for somebody else, or not necessarily your ideal customer anyway.
No, that's interesting that you bring that up too as well. I've one of me understanding that part. Like, you don't want to put if they're going to be coloring in the book, like making a mess or anything like that, you just want it one-sided, right? You want to leave the back blank, because if they're using like a marker, it's going to kind of bleed through. It might even bleed through like on that third page, right? And the third page is the other front of the book, right? The front page. So you got to be careful. Something to think about right there. Okay. So we broke down this whole listing, guys. Give a short review, title, subtitle, description. You can see the delivery times over here. Look inside feature, surprise me, show me something new. And then the BSR, this right here. This is obviously a tool that I pay for, guys. But I use this a lot right here to kind of just see if there's a demand and see if it's consistently selling. Because if it's not consistently selling, like if you're starting off, it's kind of like a bad idea, in my opinion. But you're going to make a sale like every 2 months, every 3 months. Product details going to tell you the page number, right? The description, the dimensions, right, of the book. And also too, there's the BSR, and it gives you a breakdown of the niches. You can click on these actually too as well. kind of go into like a sub niche, right? And it's going to pop up like the best. Can't show you guys that secret yet. But yeah, it's kind of good. And then you go down into the reviews. There's a video right here too as well, and there's pictures. And then you guys want to relate to look in these reviews. See, and even if it's yours too, don't be afraid to read it. Okay. And I've talked about this a little bit too as well. It's like you see back in the day, or like if you go to when in high school or you get your books or something like that, all of a sudden they come out with a new edition of a book because they misspelled one word, right? They misspelled it. So they came out with a new edition and it created the whole book all over and redid the cover. And it was edition 20, right? It's like, God damn, how many editions are going to make of this book and charge $400? So it's the same thing. Okay. They're not any different than you, of course, but
you have to be able to take the critique too, right? And if you actually want to improve on yourself, you have to identify your weaknesses or let people identify them for you if you can't see them, right? Because you look at something with your own set of eyes over 79 pages or whatever it is, you're going to miss stuff, even if you know it should be there. But as soon as someone else sees it, they spot it.
Yep.
Yeah, and another key thing I wanted to mention too is you guys want to be paying attention to some of the content in the comments. If people specifically are saying it's good for kids from this age to that age, you're seeing those same age ranges. So like in this case, it's 4 to 8 years old. And there's a massive difference in the skill set of a 4-year-old versus the skill set of an 8-year-old. Okay. So for me, when I'm looking at activity books, I ain't making no books that are for 4-year-olds to 8-year-olds. I'm looking at smaller ranges of years because I understand that like traditionally the 8-year-old is not going to be interested in what the 4-year-old is interested in terms of like the difficulty of the things that are on the inside of that book. And the same is true in reverse. So the 4-year-old is going to struggle to try and do something that an 8-year-old can do, right? So understanding that, if you break those down into smaller categories, like you're looking at some of these reviews, that's another opportunity, right? For you to like actually narrow it down and say, this book is for 6 to 7-year-olds. This book is for 4 to 5-year-olds. Here's what the difference is between these two books in your description. You know what I mean? And then you're giving people like a very clear picture of, okay, so, you know, I bought this book for my 7-year-old. It was perfect for that age range. I'm definitely going to buy more books in this series, like when they review this book, right? Like after they've purchased it. So you guys want to be thinking about all of those sorts of things when you're determining A, like what kind of book you're making, B, you're looking through the research and you're looking through those reviews. Like all those reviews are gold and they will show you hidden opportunities over and over again. Like even some of the 5-star reviews, like you're not necessarily just looking for the 1 and the 2-star reviews. You're looking through all of the reviews to see if people are just mentioning certain things. Because like I know in my own research, like I have a book that I've got in plan. I spent a lot of time looking at all of the different books that are like the best sellers for that category, for that specific subject area that I'm working on, and just kind of seeing what the reviews said. And that was how I identified that, like, yeah, it makes a lot of sense not to have a book that's for 4 to 8 years old, unless it's maybe like a coloring book. But even then, coloring is like, it's a lot different from 4 till 8, right? But like instead maybe have a 4 to 6 and a 6 to 8, like break it out so that it's a shorter range of years and it makes more sense for the kids who are actually receiving the book.
Yeah, and I see Michelle commenting there that, you know, you can have a smart 4-year-old and slower 8-year-old, or an age is just a number, not intelligence level. I'm like, yeah, but in the same breath, if you're targeting the exceptions to the rules, then you're probably not going to make near as many sales. That's just the nuts and bolts.
And that's true. It's like you sure can have a smart 4-year-old, but here's the reality of the situation in the marketplace. You have a smart 4-year-old, you know your kid's reading at like an advanced level based on what the teacher says about that kid, or based on preschool or whatever. You're buying the books that are for like the 5 and 6-year-olds, 6 and 7-year-olds. You're buying the advanced level books for your smart 4-year-old. You're not traditionally looking at the things that say from 4 to 5 years old and thinking that that's going to suit your kid.
No, on the other end, if you're the parent of the 8-year-old, you know that you're not going to be buying stuff traditionally that other 8-year-olds would be doing, right? You'd be buying something for the younger age group.
And that's the thing. Like, so this is another key point, which brings me to like one thing that I kind of forgot to mention, but you want to do a lot of ideal customer research wherever possible. So like if you have people in your feed that like have kids in this age range, right? you want to ask them how exactly they're doing that. So like, you know, I have one friend who has 3 sons, like 5, 7, and 9. Okay. And so I said, okay, so if I were to create a book for your 3 sons, like, are they into all the same subject areas? Like, do they all read at the levels that they should be reading for their age, basically? Or like, do they struggle with one thing and they excel at other things? And, you know, like I did that. I rinsed and repeated that strategy across like all of the people who I had friends who might be interested in the things that I was about to create. Right. And as a result of that, like that is kind of what informed my decision, is like a lot of those parents who had the advanced kids, like whose one kid was like super great at reading, but really crappy at math, or, you know, whose other kid was like not so good at reading, struggled to do like the basic words, but like when it came to science or when it came to logic puzzles was like could crush that stuff all day. Right. And that's how I informed, you know, like what I'm saying about make it a smaller range of years, because at the end of the day, people are shopping based on their kids' skill set, right? And based on what those teachers, or like mostly teachers it's going to be, have kind of shown them, okay, like your kid struggles with maybe like writing letters or like, you know, spelling or whatever, you know what I mean? So you have to personalize this experience as much as you can, or allow them to personalize it for themselves as much as you can. And when you kind of figure out the perfect blend of that, like, so this is an interesting subject, this is the age range, this is how it's described, and the description allows them to say, yeah, that's going to be perfect for my kid, you will naturally see your sales go up because there's no questions left to be asked on the page looking at your listing.
Yeah, and I mean, if you're the parent of a really intelligent or super advanced 4-year-old, you're likely to buy books for 8-year-olds, and as opposed to trying to market a book to a really advanced 4-year-old, right?
Exactly.
You're just pigeonholing yourself and leaving yourself like almost, you know, a very limited eye set.
Also, too, I think so. Like, this is like a perfect segue to the next section over. I think that if you going back to looking at the reviews, you can see who the target is, right? Obviously, it's a dinosaur book, right? You can see boys, and then you can see like grandson. So you can see that this book is for boys, right? So I think, and then also too, Tyler I think Tyler with the comes in with the fake review. It's a verified purchase, of course, but I think he just purchased it just to leave a review because he keeps kids. You can see he's like talking more general about it, which is the kids. So
yeah.
You see what I say? So it's like this one review is trying to push down the other reviews and leave something like a good review. And I see that, it's cool, but you can see that this right here is just now I think that, so when you go in from, so now you have everything down, like, and you're going into the research part of the niche, right? So dinosaur activity books, you can see like these are for boys. Unless, like, do you know any girls, or Jay, do you know any girls that colored, they like dinosaur books? I know there probably has to be some, right? You make a pink dinosaur.
Of course, yeah. Neighbor's
Land
kid.
before time.
Every kid I know between 5 and 6 at least, or between 5 and 8 or 4 and 8, whatever that is, likes at least some kind of dinosaur stuff.
Okay. All right. So like, yeah. So now we're going into, so we're done with this over here. Now we're going to go over into the actual niche itself and research it and see what we can do. D, this is you right here. You're talking about the opportunity and trying to figure out where we can dive in and find something like, and I know that with this, there's different activities, right? There's word search, there's dot mazes, coloring books, there's story books. You can see dinosaur coloring book for kids. You can see something like this. This has been selling I've been seeing this book sell over and over and over. And this is simple, right? Nothing too crazy about it. There's joke books, right? And this one's crushing it.
I mean, I already covered the opportunity there. Like, my best. Yeah. D just stepped away. She'll be right back. But yeah.
Okay. I didn't see it. I can't see it. Yeah, no. And that's basically what I would do. You can see how we went from here to going over the whole listing, and now we're going over into the actual niche itself. And your goal is too, when you search into a niche, is you want to come in here and dissect it and figure out what opportunity there is for you available to dive into. Okay, there can be a specific dinosaur book, right? There's a say a T-Rex dinosaur book, stuff like stuff like that, like literally how to catch a dinosaur. Look, there's a storybook, right? Big dinosaur coloring book. Kind of just going off, like there's cars and trucks now that are popping up. How to catch a unicorn.
And I think to Michelle's point, there, dinosaurs for girls is a popular niche too, no doubt. I think it's an underserved niche even.
Oh, there it is, huh?
There's enough out there for girls, and I think it would be super popular.
That's something that's pretty cool, because we were just talking about that, right? We didn't even know it. Like pink dinosaurs, right? You can do like a purple dinosaur, like a girl themed dinosaur book.
Yeah, you definitely don't see most of the stuff out there is pretty masculine. So yeah, to be something a little less aggressive, and yeah, I think that's definitely a good idea. Underserved for sure. Yeah, I mean, maybe it won't sell the numbers that the stereotypical dinosaur books sell, but it would be probably pretty solid.
Well, so that's kind of the thing. It's like if you can find those little niches where you could still get solid sales, right? Like if you build enough books in those areas, then like you still are making a good little income off of KDP.
Let's be real, like that's going to be more than a little income, right?
Exactly.
Like something like dinosaurs for crush it. You never see them, right?
All right, I think that's gonna pretty much, as far as everything that we broke down in this whole, we're over an hour for sure. But I want to kind of get into some Q&A with you guys. If you guys have any questions, I want you guys to ask. I'd kind of do a little short review of everything that we did. We found a niche, right? The dinosaur niche, and then what we want to do is, what we did was come over here and search in the search bar and figure out where there is where the gap is, right? And figure out how you can rank and stuff like that. That's your main goal. You want to go into the niche and figure out what you can do to rank a book and understand the niche, of course. And I think we hit it right on the hit it right there with the color, like girls, right? So dinosaur coloring books for girls. A lot of the stuff you can see like on the front page, there's nothing there, but purple, pink dinosaurs, just like stuff that you can relate to a little girl coloring the book, or an activity book or whatever it is. You can see that pretty much everything here is green, like I don't know what color that is, red, like a sky blue, green, but no pink or purple dinosaurs, right? It's more for like boys.
Even like AJ, I don't know if he was half joking or not, but he said dinosaurs and tutus. Like I know my sister was into the ballerina phase when she was a kid. She would have been over dinosaurs.
Sorry.
No, you're good. You're good. All right, so I stopped sharing.
Yeah, I can see he was talking. Oh, D's gone.
No.
So we got RJ, myself, Jay, and Dion Baker.
Yo. Got some pretty good stuff. What's up, guys? What's going on? AJ, what's up, man? Holla. Paul, what would be the replay for this? It's going to be up on, so I'm not sure where the questions are. Jay, you want to where we left off at? I'm not sure where you're looking at, but Paul, what's up, man? What's going on? Where there would be a replay for this? Yes, there will be a replay. We'll have it on YouTube. We'll have it on the Ready Aim Scale fan page too as well. If you guys are unaware what Ready Aim Scale is, there's going to be a link down below in the description, or up here somewhere on Facebook, on YouTube, down below in the description. If you guys haven't checked that out, go on there and check that out. Private group, good content, a lot of solid stuff. You get access to JD and me, and we're consistently in there working every week, working on something new. We did like a mini KDP challenge this month. Dude, crushed it. A lot of good stuff in there, jam-packed. You can see how we broke all this stuff down. This is like, we all have our own point of views, right? Mm-hmm. And I think we're all different. We all have our own unique style. And at the end of the day, we know that we can all learn something from each other. And that's very important as we grow and stuff like that. And we learn and learn new businesses and stuff, you want to keep evolving, right? And keep getting better. And I think that's pretty cool that we can kind of come to an agreement on that and not chop each other's heads off or anything like that, or think we're better than one another or smarter than one another. I think that's really cool.
Quite honestly, we all have reached whatever levels of individual successes, if you want to call it successes for lack of a better word. But our individual achievements have not all been by following the same path, right? So there's, it's just more of a testament to the fact that there are more than one ways to get to where you need to be.
Absolutely. And I think the cool thing that you'll see if you join us in Ready and Scale, if you're not somebody who's already in there, is that like we are all super respectful of each other's paths, right? Like I learn stuff constantly. Like I'm a designer, just like Jay's the designer, but I learn a lot of stuff from Jay. I learn a lot of stuff from RJ, and like just the different perspectives that everybody has on the content in general. Like we all are constantly learning from each other in the same way that some of our students are learning from us, right? And so I feel like that's a key thing to kind of mention, because like in our Ready and Scale group, we have like this training library, we have like free graphic packs that come up, we do a mini monthly challenge to keep everybody active and engaged. We have a weekly call that we do where you can get all of your questions answered, like right on that call. And we try to kind of just bridge the gaps for you guys that are starting out or that like might be looking about expanding. So like maybe you started on merch, or you started on KDP, or you started with an Etsy store and you're looking to reach out, expand out to those other areas. Like we're bridging those gaps so that it's a lot easier for you to get some success right out of the gate. And that's the key, right? Like you don't want to spend all this time and energy kind of just plugging away at things, not necessarily doing those things correctly, and then not having success and then thinking, oh, well, this is just not going to work for me. There's always a way to kind of fail forward. So like if something's not working, just pivot, look at something else, like change what you're doing. Don't keep doing the same things over and over and over again and expecting those different results to happen, because that's not a reality. You got to be testing things, tweaking things, changing your process, and kind of just honing your own individual path to success. Because as Jay just said, the path to success looks different for all of us. Like we all came into these kinds of online businesses differently at different times in our lives. We've all had success in different niches, you know what I mean? And we all have our different ways of doing things to get to that end result or that end goal that we've set for ourselves.
And I think one of the important things. Did I freeze?
You froze a little bit.
Frozen.
Okay. Yeah. So one of the things you kind of touched on was, changing and not getting stuck. So like that comfortable groove can very easily, with a little bit of incremental success, that comfortable groove can very easily become a comfortable rut, and where it's just easier to keep doing what you're doing than it is to jump outside that rut or that groove and try something a little bit different. It doesn't have to be a brand new thing, but maybe a different spin on something, right? Because trends change, people's bank accounts change. What's hot now might not be. And I think it's just important to self-assess, because you change. We all change. Every 5 years from now, we're a different person than we were 5 years ago. What worked 5 years ago may not work now. So it's essential. And this is so underrated, but you need to self-assess, right? And I'm guilty. And we should be doing that once or twice a year. But realistically, it's every other year I actually kind of buckle down and then realize, okay, what have I done in the last year? Where did I think I was going to be by now? And am I there? Am I any closer? What needs to change to get me there? That sort of thing.
I can picture Jay talking to himself at the bar with a nice cold beer right in front of him, reassessing himself.
You and I are both Canadian.
I don't know, Jay.
No, I see there's a few questions in the comments, and I want to get to these guys because I want you guys to feel like that we're getting to your questions. And Teresa, shout out to you because you always show up, and I appreciate that a lot. That's what I want right there.
Yeah.
And there's right here. So Health Man. So has Amazon came after KDP like they did affiliates commission? So no, they haven't. I'm pretty sure what they did with the affiliate commissions for Amazon. I think they lowered their percentage. I believe that's what they did. So no, Not that I'm aware of. Teresa 3C on the road. If you guys are not subscribed to her channel, go subscribe to her channel. That's the homegirl right there. $5.99 is priced pretty low for an activity book, right? That kind of like, it's like a depends question. It's like it's all up to you. I think it's like $1.82, I believe it is, depending on how many pages there is. I think you make like $1.82. I guess it's okay, but it all depends like what your goal is, right? If you're trying to sell for $2, $3, $4, it all depends. I know there's some books that crush it at $5.99. So,
well, I think too, like at that $5.99 price point, if you know that like you've already like mastered this in one subject area, right? So let's say like you already have like a best-selling dinosaur book or whatever. You know that book is going to sell, let's say, 2,000 times a year, right? So like pricing it at $5.99, if you have a best-selling dinosaur book, a best-selling science book, a best-selling whatever, like, you know what I mean? You're going to get people that are a little bit, I guess, more budget conscious, and like they're going to just keep buying that book, right? Whereas like if you have other books that are maybe like $6.99 or whatever else, like maybe there's a difference in quality, maybe there's something extra in that book that makes it that higher price or whatever. Like in terms of pricing strategy, I think a lot of times because we're talking pricing, people get too fixated on the money, right? But like the strategy sometimes for pricing is more about the number or the volume of sales, right? Would you rather make $1.82 off 2,000 books or $2 off 100 books, right? Like it makes more sense if you know that price point is going to work for you and like explode your volume to make more money, like on the higher level of purchases than it does to kind of price that book at, you know, $7 or whatever, and to sell it way less times, right? So these are all kind of that you go through as you're looking through all of the things. Like when it comes down to the process of like just getting started on KDP, because I'm just going through that process myself right now. What I do is I look at all of the books across what the book I'm planning is, like what are the high selling books in that category? What are they priced at? What makes this book that's maybe $11.99 versus this book over here that's $5.99 different from one another? And where would my book fall into that spectrum? That's kind of how I'm basing my pricing strategy. And then, you know, I'll tweak and test as I go. But like right now, knowing that there's a lot of people who are buying those activity books, this could be just a thing that they're doing for now, right? They're saying $5.99 until a certain date. And then that book, maybe when we come back 2 months from now, is going to be $6.99 or $7.99, right?
Yeah.
Just know the volumes are there right now.
I would think like in terms of like a merch, for example, I would have no problem listing high or higher if I know the design is a better caliber, or I know the niche, I know my target customer. I know that if I price a shirt at $15.99, they're gonna, you know, it's just that perception that the quality just isn't there, so they won't buy. They'll only buy $20 plus or whatever it is. But with these books too, right now with the captive audience, I mean, you're looking at people dumping potentially $50 to $100 per purchase right now just to buy a bunch to give their kids stuff to do. So the more they can pack into that bundle, and then, you know, is probably a good thing at like for right now specifically. And then the other idea I was thinking is that it's also a great way to boost your BSR for a long-term gain, right? So when people are stopping the bulk purchase, you're going to have that little bit. I normally don't price that way for merch or for like clothing, but in this particular case, I mean, I don't see it as being necessarily a bad thing, right? I don't think you undervalue yourself.
Mm-hmm.
People at the end of the day, people don't want to spend, you know, $15 on a book for a 4-year-old who might end up ripping it or eating it anyway, right?
Yeah. No, I think that also too, that's a really good point. Just some people are trying to just rank in the algorithm right now during Q4. When Q4 comes around, they're going to push the price up, and I've seen a few brands do that too as well. And that's another thing too. If you guys could like follow like a few brands and figure out, okay, this is what they're doing, and then Q4 comes around, they're raising their prices to $7 or $8. I've done that with a few coloring books, and one book's made over $100 in one day because I raised the price to $9 a book, right? $9 to $10 a book, and it's just crushing it. So something to pay attention to, because during Q4 they're buying a lot of books to put in the stocking stuffers. People are visiting others and bringing gifts. They're doing fun activities on Christmas Eve, right? Stuff like that. That's a big thing. All the families getting together, coloring together at the table, stuff like that. So please save the live. Yes, we're going to save this live. It's going to be, like I said, on the Ready Aim Scale fan page, and it's going to be on the YouTube channel. So obviously, coming on from YouTube, it's going to be right over there. So I'll have that live up there.
Yeah, shout out to AJ because he's talking about the Ready Aim Scale group, the paid group. He's saying like the Q&A in there alone is worth the price of admission. You can learn so much without even posting much, and that, I mean, that's about the priceless point is that community, right?
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, for sure.
Kristen, I'm going back. I'm thinking of going back and adding an extra page to some of my interiors now.
Yeah, that's when I started the marketing page that drives them to a landing page that gives them freebies or whatever, so you can collect their emails, right? That's like, I think that's a key strategy, honestly. Like, I feel like you want to have a good strategy going into all of this kind of stuff that you can use later on. Because, like, let's say all of a sudden KDP was like, oh, now we're closed. You know what I mean? Like, if you're collecting emails and you're making a little like newsletter, you could switch providers, switch printers, whatever, and start fulfilling your own orders and like not have to worry about necessarily like sales not being there if you've already started building that community, right? So I feel like it's important always to have that as a backup. Like, even if you're on Etsy, if you're on Amazon, like, you want to have that as a backup. You want to be communicating with your customers as much as possible. Like, but voluntarily. So like they have signed up to be communicated to, right? Yeah. Like, so yeah.
Here's Teresa with a question. Can you tell at a glance when doing research which ones are KDP? Yes, on the left-hand side, if you click paperback and then do prime on the category thing and kind of like filter it out on the left-hand side, that's how you can tell. Paperback and then prime on the left-hand side. I would have showed you. I forgot. I should have showed you guys that right there. I did that in a few videos where you guys, I kind of show you how to do. You sort it filter it so you can figure out which ones are KDP books. Okay. And if you guys are barely hopping on, ask questions. I'm going through all the questions right now, and now's your time to ask. So we're going through them. Patty, what's going on, Patty? How do they make it a spiral bound as well? That looks like a good ROI, but would be $20 for the book. That's actually a really good question. Lulu.com. So they offer spiral bound notebooks. If you put so you can do a spiral bound notebook for like a coloring book and charge $20. You know what I mean? That's when you can start raising the prices as you start creating a brand. As they're adding they're adding a product on there. I'm not sure exactly. I think they would be doing that from the Seller Central part of it, from my understanding. But other than that, you would have to create your own website. You can do it that way too as well. But that is a really good question. But lulu.com, LULU.com.
Looking for some more questions here. Will there be a replay of this? Paul Nielsen down at 10:57. Yeah, so it'll be saved.
Yeah,
Michelle, guess who? Oh,
okay. Ron Watt. Morning, everybody. What's up? What's going on, Ron? What's up, homie? That's my guy right there. We share burrito pictures all the time when we go eat burritos. I just had to throw him out there. He brought me some masks too, by the way. Just wanted to give you a quick shout out and tell you thank you very much. I really appreciate that, brother. He came, I think it was on Friday or Saturday, but he came by and dropped off the mask, and he wanted to hey, here you go, RJ. So thanks for looking out for your boy. I really appreciate that, Ron. You my man. All right. You see what? Can you click on your side, Jay, or no?
I can, but I actually have to go. I have
okay. We're knocking all these.
My real estate lawyer in 25 minutes. So.
Okay, go do your thing. I'm just gonna knock out all these questions, and then we're gonna be signing off.
Yeah. Nice meeting you.
Bye, Jay.
Ciao.
Thanks, brother. Thank you.
No problem. Thanks for. Excited for this. This will be every Thursday, by the way. Michelle, she was asking who's the guest on the show. So.
Every Thursday. Rather than Weatherly, and ideally, I want to sell 1,000 copies of one book rather than one copy of each book. That is going into a niche and dominating and being the best. That is a perfect point. Because if you can get one book making a full-time income, god damn. That's crazy, right? If you get one book making, I think $100 is $500. $100 is good. That's good. 500, of course, the more the better. But imagine making just like 5,000, 6,000 off of one book. And it's possible too, because you see people out there doing it.
Yeah.
And it's crazy. My notifications didn't come through, Michelle. That's weird. I know. I think it's on YouTube, right? So notifications. How's it going? I hope everything is. Hopefully you're doing well. Hopefully you're safe, Michelle. Yeah, sometimes it's a little weird with the notifications on YouTube. You'll get them probably like, I don't know, probably like a day later. Okay, Paul, will there be a replay? Yes, I think we're on that. Michelle, who's the guest on who's the guest today? There's no guests today. We're all in here together. We're knocking out. We just want to do some research together. If you're unaware, like I said, we have it's called Ready Aim Scale. It's a JD and myself, and it's down below in the description. You can check that out, and there's more information back there. We do, like I said, a lot of coaching, private group stuff, content related to content as in courses, like almost in a way that they're
mini courses.
Mini courses. We knock them out like in like a week or so, and because we're doing the businesses, right? So we have an understanding. So kind of like social proof, I guess. We're doing it ourselves, so we can relate to it. We have the answers for you guys.
Exactly.
If you know, there's a good question. So if you're doing coloring books two-sided, it will go through. Yes, for the most part, from my understanding, I've ordered probably about 40 of my coloring books, 50 of my coloring books, and I see that I feel I haven't colored them in yet. If the front and back, it's going to bleed through if you use like a marker or something like that.
Yeah, and that's the thing, or like painting. Like kids do a lot of crazy stuff inside of coloring books, man. So you want to make sure that you're just prepared for like whatever medium they choose to color with.
Yeah. White or cream paper?
White. My vote's white.
Okay. I think honestly, I feel like it's like a depends question. It's like whatever. It's up to you, personal preference, right? I order them both just to see what. I test them out, like see what does better. You know what I mean?
The other thing I think is like if the pages are white, like the colors are a bit better, like in terms of numbers or whatever. Yeah, they pop off the page a little bit better. Whereas when they're cream, they don't. So like again, that can be personal preference depending on like the medium that you're choosing. But like if kids are coloring it, I say white personally. Like,
Teresa, emerge basically a BSR 100K or less is good. Is this the same for KDP? Yes, that's, I think, yeah, because if a BSR under 100K, it's going to be better than the categories for shirts. Like for the category for merch by Amazon. So merch by Amazon, was it shirts and clothing? I think that's what it is. Compared to books, the BSR, more books are sold when you compare the two categories. In the books, let's say in books it has 90K, right? And then in clothing and shirts, the clothing and apparel at 90K, books sell more. There's more books sold in one day compared to that. That makes sense. Something like that. What's up, AJ? What's going on, man? What's going on? Okay. Okay, here we go. Here's a few. Teresa, you're welcome. You're very welcome.
I don't know
okay.
if there's
there's like 4 more right here.
Yeah.
I see big brand companies.
Yeah, there's a few more below that.
I see big brand companies not by Amazon that are $7 for 150 colored pages. They might be seller fulfilled, right? So they're getting the product that's something they're shipping them into FBA. Anything with that, like, so if they have 150 pages, basically they might be printing them somewhere where they get them for very cheap, and they're a lot like they're colored, so colored pages, right? So the inside's colored. So when the inside's colored, the price goes up, if I'm getting that question correctly. So most likely they're doing it themselves and shipping them in, where they might be getting them from China. And I know there's a few brands out there that are saying that they're US made, but they're getting them for China, and they have it like shipped to their location in the US, and then they're shipping to FBA. But yeah, there's I think with the color, the price goes up a lot. D, when you have the color pages, it goes up. I think it's like freaking like $7, $5. So it goes up. So you can't sell a book for like $7 because the price goes up so crazy.
Yeah, for sure. It makes sense that it would. More ink.
Are you allowed to do that? Are you allowed to do that or offer free products? Yeah, you can do like the color pages. Yeah, they offer that in the back end. So if you want to do that, but you're going to have to list your price at 12, 13, $14. Can you give me an example of ready aim scale challenges you have done or may have done and do in the future? D.
All right. So we did, like, the beginning of this year, we did the productivity challenge, right? So while everybody's planning out their business or like planning out how like they're going to do their New Year's resolutions or whatever, we just decided, you know what, we're going to hit it with a productivity challenge. And in that challenge, they got a free, our group people got a free tracker that they can use to figure out how long it takes them to do certain tasks so that when they plan those tasks into their schedule later on, they have a better understanding and accuracy around how much time they actually take. So like you, instead of planning, 8 hours of work in a 4-hour time span, you're actually planning appropriately. And then we kind of taught different methods for time management because that seemed to be a big thing that a lot of our students were struggling with is time management. And like we gave them, all of the high point details on how to create a schedule or workflow that works for them. So then we followed that one up. What was the next one? The February one was, I forgot now. Wait, it was niche research, right? Wasn't it?
Yeah, there's research in one of those ones right there.
Oh, that was March's. April's.
One second. I'm coming. Monthly challenge. So there is April's. There's KDP, March, February productivity, and then March was the research.
Yeah, so that's the thing. So we started it in February. That's right.
Yeah.
So basically, February was productivity. March was niche research. So you got all of us like doing our own different videos and our own different takes on how we research a niche and how we come up with design choices inside of that. And then there was worksheets, like a little mini workbook that you got if you were part of our group that would basically help you. Think of them as kind of like a swipe file or like maybe that's the wrong word. Like a brief, a design brief in a sense for each niche, right? So like if you were to fill in that workbook and then save it and then come back to that niche later, you could just open up the workbook, you see all your keywords, see all the research you did, see all the things that were selling and see all the ideas that you had for designs on shirts or whatever it was that you were creating. And then that was the challenge for March. April was KDP. So we don't actually like have challenges like these mini challenges in plan. What we do is we let our group members vote on what they want us to produce for them. And what that does is it gives the group kind of power over their own learning experience, right? So pretty much usually mid-month we'll post like a little just questionnaire kind of thing, and we'll let the members of the group vote, and then we'll create the mini challenge around that so that they're learning what they want to learn. And I think that's another key difference between Ready Aim Scale and a lot of the other programs out there. Like a lot of the other programs will record what they think you might want to know, and then they'll kind of launch this little course for you. But like there's gaps in there. Like maybe that thing got recorded in 2018 and they're just kind of like adding to it as they go, versus actually letting the group members drive the education and the resources and the things that they need help with right now. And so it kind of helps to keep us a bit more relevant in that when the group members are struggling with something today, like, so if it's like COVID-19 and you're like, oh my gosh, my merch just got shut down, what do I do? Like we have something that they can do right now today. And it's not something that was recorded 2 years ago that we've added like bits and pieces into over time, No,
that's actually really good because when it comes to a lot of this stuff, like I want to say like you're like the game plan. So you when it comes to a lot of this stuff, Patty D is like the person that understands it real fast. She pays attention, she takes it all in, and then she understands what she needs, like what we need to do, and she plans it all out. I'm just like, like obviously we did a live yesterday for the private group, and she showed everyone her game plan for KDP, and I was like, I messaged her after, D, you got to email me that. I want to see that. I want to. So it was pretty good. And also too, I shared with you guys how I would do my like I shared the Airtable with you guys in the private group too, as well with the how I would do the research and my workflow and stuff like that. So if you guys haven't checked that out, I would definitely go check that out. Kind of hold you accountable, and you can put dates and stuff on there, or the due time, right? So the due date, like when you want to do for yourself and your book and get all that stuff done. Right here, Weatherly. So I thought about this 20 minutes into the live. But yeah, exactly. You do have a solid point. Remember, you're on our channel. Not everyone knows J or D and J. Like the rest of us, you may want to include a short bio for all three in the descriptions moving forward. So next, so you can, if you want to introduce yourself right now, but next one, we can go straight into that. Cause I was like, wait up, I don't think, I forgot to do that over there on YouTube. So yeah, D and J and myself, we partner up, and we work together. We do a lot of stuff together as far as because they're really solid, like good when it comes to Etsy and stuff like that. But I just want to say more general. They understand things in general, right? Because they know that they can crush it on Etsy, they can crush it on KDP, and those are the type of people that I want to work with, right? So it's like you can do it here, but you can also do it here. They just understand, like honestly, understanding the fundamentals, right? That's what it comes down to at the very end. Understand the platform and understand the difference and stuff like that of each platform and crush it, right? So
exactly.
I also do a little background. I met Dee at Seattle. We met each other at Seattle. She was speaking at the conference. She crushed it, and we were hanging out the whole time at the conference. And she's like, "You're gonna be my brother, okay? you're gonna be hanging out with me." I think that's what she said.
I did. I was like,
okay,
yeah.
You're gonna be hanging out with me, and we're gonna be doing everything together. I was like, cool, I'm down. And then like after hanging out and everything, I was like, I didn't even ask her one question about business. How did she know? I was like, I came back home. I was like, I didn't even know I didn't know nothing about it. So nothing about her understanding business, but I knew that she crushed it when she went on the stage and got to speak at the Merch by Amazon conference. And I was speaking over there too as well. It was pretty cool. Pretty cool.
Yeah.
Okay. Yeah. Okay. Where's right here? Can you please tell us what's selling right now in general? Go back and watch this replay. Okay. I would go back and watch this, and we'll kind of break down everything. We're an hour and 41 minutes into this, guys. So we're going to be wrapping up right here. Teresa, lots of good information. Help with Ready Aim Scale, paid private group about KDP, Etsy merch, and all the things POD. Yeah. I need to get Airtable up and running. Okay. I think that's going to do it.
Yeah. I think that's it for the questions.
Yeah. Like I said,
this forum, and you want to kind of join us if you're not already in our Ready Aim Scale group, there is a link in the bio. If you just kind of want to like chill with us on Thursdays for free for a little bit and then decide, do that too. But I mean, you're kind of missing out because we got a lot of content in that Ready Aim Scale group. We do a private live in that group, so you get your specific questions answered every single week. And like I said, we have these mini challenges, we have graphic packs, we have a training library. So like whatever you want to learn, we are tailoring the learning experience to you directly. So go sign up if you're not in the group. If you are in the group, thank you for joining us again. You know, we like to hang out with you. We could just sit on here like all day chit-chatting with you guys because we love you guys. But yeah, for real, hit that link up down below. There are free resources also on the Ready Aim Scale website. So if you're kind of strapped for cash right now and you're like, oh my goodness, I need to make some money before I can join, there are some free training videos in our free training library that you can sign up to access as well. Obviously, they are kind of 101 level trainings because we save the really, really good stuff for the members of the group. But yeah, it was cool to hang out, and I hope that you guys come back next Thursday or join us.
Yeah. So if you one more. If you join now, you get access to the previous information. Yes, you do. There's no like sign up. Everything else is hidden from the past. Everything you join now, you get everything. So even like the little monthly challenge that we did this month, that right there is going to kickstart your KDP and give you like a lot of the information. A lot of the stuff that I've tested and failed at, I have actually put everything together in a short mini challenge to, I was gonna say course, same shit, put together for you guys so you guys can have a better understanding. I do it to the best of my ability as possible. Because if you mess up with one thing with KDP, if you have your book cover, the sizing wrong, the title wrong, or whatever, you can get rejected, and it's going to take like another few days for your book to get approved. So yeah, that's all covered back there. Also too, like Dee said, there's links down below in the description. If you guys are unaware of Writing Aim Scale, and if you guys haven't watched my last video about how to create a coloring book on my YouTube channel, go check that out. And if you guys haven't subscribed to my channel, subscribe to my channel. And that is it.
That is it. Thank you all for joining us. We appreciate you.
All right, guys. Bye-bye.